The challenge of fertilisers is we've been using a mechanism, a chemical reaction, that's 70, 80 years old. It's called Haber-Bosch. It's around creating synthetic nutrients to provide food growth. That chemical reaction is hugely carbon intensive and also damages the soil. CCM Technologies has developed an ability to create fertilisers using waste materials. So we're transforming waste into a valuable product and giving farmers exactly the same outcome in terms of producing crop and therefore food for the country.
The UKRI Transforming Food Production Challenge, delivered by Innovate UK and BBSRC, supports business-led innovation to develop and test new ways of producing food that enhances the efficiency, productivity and sustainability of the agriculture sector to help realise net zero emissions by 2040.
Agriculture and the emissions from manures and synthetic fertilisers is more than those emissions from aviation and shipping combined. This chemical reaction that we're doing is able to reduce the amount of emissions by nearly 70% according to independent studies, and also the leaching and runoff of nutrients into rivers and groundwater. Right now, the UK produces very limited amounts of fertiliser itself. Before the Ukraine crisis, it was importing over 60% of the fertiliser nutrients that it needed to grow food. Since then, one of the big producers of fertilisers has left the UK, meaning that percentage is now higher. So we then, as a country, face the risk of food security.
The TFP Challenge supported a diverse range of activities to tackle the global challenges of our food system, with the central aim of driving the transition to net zero. This included competitions focusing on supporting businesses at the early stages of developing new technologies and their adoption across the traditional agriculture sector.
The benefit to CCM of this latest grant of Transforming Food Production from Innovate UK is it allows us to further analyse the end product about the fertiliser that we're able to give farmers. This is the key, and this is one of many grants that we've received from Innovate, but is probably the most specific one around the end product. 80% of the nutrients required to make food in Europe is already being captured in waste stream management. So the message here is that all the nutrients we require are basically in the main present in our waste streams. All we need to do is now transform them into the valuable fertiliser that it can be done. Food production, from the moment you put fertiliser and seeds into the ground, all the way through distributing and processing that food to get it on the supermarket shelves, to then treating the food waste at the end, that is, according to the United Nations, about a third of all greenhouse gas emissions. If we get the support from governments around potentially some out-of-date regulation that needs to just be evolved, and we get the support from the corporates, then we have that ambition to produce a huge percentage of that global consumption of fertiliser.